Hi, my name is Charlie McGrath, founder of WideAwakeNews.com and a host on the Rinse Radio Network. I don't know if it's going to be an open revolt, a revolution, civil war, secession from the Union, complete and utter continuous collapse into the future. I don't know when we as a people are going to wake up and realize the simple truth. There is no Democrat and there is no Republican. There is nobody in the positions of power in Washington, D.C. that serve our interests. They don't exist anymore. That's not saying that 535 members of Congress, there isn't some good men and women there. I'm saying the people that get into the positions to affect legislation and the direction of this country are not working on our behalf. If you believe that you have a vested interest in the Republican Party, wake up. If you believe that the Democrats have your social interests at heart, your social safety nets at heart, wake up. Both of you are equally a tool of a machine in Washington that is going to ruin this, has ruined this nation. If you're a neocon and you think that somehow by allowing the government to spend more money and buy more of our treasuries and buy more of our mortgage-backed securities, and this is going to cause your investments to go up, that is a reason, that is welfare, all right? So don't cast the stone at somebody that's on the blue team who thinks if they can keep Obama or the next blue team in there, they're going to continue to get ever-expanding payday from Washington, D.C. Both perspectives are equally disgusting. Both these perspectives have come about by a government that has grown so large out of control that it can placate and develop those perspectives. We need to realize the game is over in this country. It's over. We have no representative government, at least when it comes to the people that make decisions. If you need proof of this, you don't have to look any further than the debt deal that came to pass yesterday. Republican minority leader in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, he's the one that got this deal done. He's the one that was being slapped on the back by Harry Reid and all the other senators that partook in putting together this freedom-killing, liberty-killing, constitution-killing piece of legislation. Why? Well, at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, Mitch McConnell was able to secure $2 billion for his home state of Kentucky. A big win for Mitch McConnell and an absolute screwing of the American people. This debt ceiling deal puts no limit on the amount of money that can be spent between now and when we look at it again in February. You have these pundits on the right saying, well, we fought the good fight. No, you didn't. You screwed the American people. The left, the right, the blue, the red, you have screwed the American people once again. It's even more disgusting than it seems on the surface, because in February, we will no longer have a debt ceiling debate and vote to increase the debt ceiling. You see, that's how it works now. Congressional check on the debt limit. The Congress has to come together and say, we're going to raise the debt ceiling. We're going to vote yay or nay. We're going to do it or we're not going to do it. That's not going to exist anymore. Another idea good old Republican Mitch McConnell had in 2011, which is flipping the script on the way the law is written. So instead of Congress having to approve a debt ceiling increase, now they're going to have to vote to not allow a debt ceiling increase, or it will be automatic. So what does this mean? Well, next time this subject comes about, Congress is going to get a vote on, do they want to raise a debt ceiling or not? If they say no, the president has the power to veto it. Then it's going to take 2/3 majority in order to override that veto. What does it mean? You can forget about a debt ceiling debate again. This will be counted as a victory, so we don't have to look at this anymore. But you can forget about this legal restriction on the amount of debt that can be taken on in our name. Now they're just going to do it in perpetuity. It'll fall by the wayside. Another flip the script piece of legislation that screws the American people. The Chinese saw what happened last night. They saw what happened with this debt deal. Dagong, one of the rating agencies out of China, woke up this morning and said, we're going to downgrade the U.S. debt. Why? Because the situation hasn't changed. The Americans are still spending more money than they're taking in. They're outpacing their GDP. They are still a credit default risk just as much as they were before the debt ceiling was signed. So what are we going to get now? You saw what happened day one after this thing was signed into law. we start talking about how we're going to reform immigration laws in this country. Billions, potentially trillions of dollars that'll be spent. Much of that money going to the military and security industrial complex so we can electrify and throw drones in the air and hire more private security to stomp around the borders and spend a bunch of money that we don't have. They also want to revamp the Farm Bill. The Farm Bill, which is responsible for paying for food stamp program, a program that has exploded to the point of being absolutely and utterly out of control. A program that, although it does help people and people who need this help, especially in an economy that has been papered over with this fantasy recovery, but it also creates a malleable populace. When you have a government that's spending money out of control and it can get to the point where it's putting a check in over the hands of 50% of the people in this country, and you have a poverty level that's exploding in this country while the very, very few elite are getting more and more rich, you end up with a control apparatus when you have no debt ceiling, when you could just print money forever and keep handing it down to the folks who need it to put food on their table. Guess what? You're stealing their freedom. You're stealing their ability to take care of themselves. And you're stealing their ability to stand up for themselves, because all you have to do at the government level is say, we're going to halt it. We're going to halt this. This is what we're turning into. We are turning into a nation that this government and the corporate sponsors of this government will have absolute, total dictatorial control from everything that you do when you get up in the morning till you go to bed at night and everything in between. And this government is working extremely hard to make sure that even the smallest checks and balances are pulled out of the equation so they can continue on with their game, which is expanding government and expanding a controlled, totalitarian police state. Stories are attached. That's all I got. Believe this. There is no red and blue. It is they against us. They are working diligently every single day to make sure that they hold on to that power. And the only way that they can do that is by creating debt, and by creating that debt and making you responsible for it. It's time to wake up and realize where we're at. Stories are attached. That's all I got. Gabe Elton and Austin Rare Coins and Bullion have handed me an October 2013 special that is the most aggressive I've seen since they've been supporting independent media. OPM 1 ounce gold bars, $29 over spot. 1 ounce silver rounds, 99 cents over spot. Gabe Elton's direct line is 800-552-4109. You can visit him online at austincoins.com. I'll put a link to the specials down below. Thank you, Gabe Elton. Thank you, Austin Rare Coins and Bullion, for supporting independent media. Please take advantage of these October 2013 specials.